Live from New Delhi, you're watching DDI India News Hour, India's voice to the world. I'm Manu Bhaker. Coming up in the next hour. Indian shooter Manu Bhaker wins bronze in 10-meter air pistol in Paris Olympics, becomes the first Indian woman shooter to achieve the feat. India's PM congratulates her. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets Antony Blinken in Tokyo. Stage set for Quad Foreign Ministers meeting on Monday. Israel hits Hezbollah targets in a retaliatory strike after a rocket attack on Golan Heights. Landslide triggered by tropical storm Gaemi kills 12 in southern China. Manu Bhaker scripts history, bagging bronze for India. She has become the first ever Indian woman shooter to bag an Olympic medal in the sport of shooting. Here's a report.
India's ace shooter Manu Bhaker creates history at Paris Olympics 2024, bagging a coveted bronze medal. With this, Manu not only ended India's wait of witnessing a medal in 10-meter air pistol event, but also successfully became the first Indian woman to clinch an Olympic medal in this category. Manu shot 221.7 in the final event. After winning the medal, bronze medalist Manu Bhaker said that personally for her the feeling is surreal. President of India Draupadi Murmu congratulated the shooter on the historic victory. She said, "Heartiest congratulations to Manu Bhaker for opening India's medal tally with her bronze medal in 10-meter air pistol shooting event at the Paris Olympics. She is the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal in a shooting competition. India is proud of Manu Bhaker. Her feat is going to inspire many sportspersons, especially women. I wish she scales greater heights of accomplishment in the future." Vice President of India also congratulated the shooter. He said, "Congratulations to Manu Bhaker on winning bronze medal in 10-meter air pistol shooting event in Paris Olympics 2024. She not just opened the medal tally for India in Paris, but also became the first Indian woman to win an Olympic medal in shooting. Manu Bhaker's achievement is going to inspire countless young girls who aspire to raise Bharat's tricolour at Olympic podium." Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Manu Bhaker and congratulated her on the medal. He also posted his wishes on social media platform X. In a post, he said, "A historic medal, well done Manu Bhaker for winning India's first medal at Paris Olympics 2024. Congratulations for the bronze. This success is even more special as she becomes the first woman to win a medal in shooting for India. An incredible achievement. Cheer for Bharat." Union Home Minister Amit Shah tweeted, "Kudos to Manu Bhaker on winning the first medal in Paris Olympics 2024 by bringing home the bronze. You have sent a wave of euphoria across the nation with your stellar performance. The nation swells in pride at your achievement." Whereas Sports Minister Mansukh Mandaviya said, "A proud moment. Manu Bhaker wins Bharat's first medal, a bronze in women's 10-meter air pistol at Paris Olympics 2024. Congratulations, Manu. You've displayed your skill and dedication. You have become first women shooter to win an Olympic medal for Bharat. #cheer for Bharat." Manu's family back in Haryana celebrated this grand victory and exchanged sweets.
This is very big and motivating for Indian contingent. First medal is always motivating. So we can say that Manu initiated the first step, and rest of Indian contingent will do very good, even better. And I will say thank you to the all who contributed this medal. Especially I will go for like the federation, then coach Jaspal, then national coaches, then OGQ, Sports Ministry, and lot of physio and others which are beyond your tables you cannot normally see. So lot of persons involved to to get that type of achievement.
India's shooting squad at Paris Olympics has been the strongest this time, and with this will be the second consecutive Olympics where India's medal account is being opened by a female athlete. Sports Desk, DD India.
India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi talked to Manu Bhaker on phone after her victory. Here's the whole video of their interaction.
मनु नमस्ते, खूब अभिनंदन, आपको बहुत बहुत बधाई।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आप कैसे हैं?
मैं बहुत बढ़िया से। आप तो ये तुम्हारी सफलता का खबर सुनने के बाद और उत्साह और आनंद में हूँ।
जी, अच्छा कर रहे हैं हमारे खिलाड़ी यहाँ पे अभी।
आपको स्वयं को वैसे .1 से आप सिल्वर आपका रह गया,
जी,
लेकिन उसके बावजूद भी आपने देश का नाम रोशन किया। आपको दो प्रकार की क्रेडिट मिल रही है। एक तो आप कहाँ से पदक लाई, लेकिन भारत की पहली महिला है जो इस मेडल लेके आई हो।
जी सर, हाँ जी, शुक्रिया सर।
मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत बधाई है। देखिए, टोक्यो ओलंपिक्स में राइफल ने तेरे साथ दगा कर दिया।
हाँ जी,
लेकिन इस बार तुमने सारी कमियों को पूरा कर दिया।
बिल्कुल सर, अभी और भी मैचेस हैं आगे, तो उनमें भी उम्मीद रहेगी कि अच्छा करूँ मैं।
मुझे पक्का विश्वास है आगे की मैचेस भी बहुत अच्छा करोगी आप, क्योंकि ये बिगिनिंग इतना अच्छा है, उसके कारण तुम्हारा उत्साह भी बढ़ेगा, आत्मविश्वास भी बढ़ेगा।
जी सर, बिल्कुल।
देश को भी उसका लाभ होगा।
बिल्कुल सर।
बाकी सब साथी एकदम प्रसन्न है, व्यवस्थाएं ठीक है सर वहाँ?
सब बहुत खुश हैं सर, और अभी नमस्ते भी कह रहे हैं आपको।
हमने भी कोशिश की है कि वहाँ जितना ज्यादा सुविधाएं मिले सब हमारे खिलाड़ियों को, खेल की दृष्टि से जो कंफर्ट चाहिए सब देने का प्रयास तो किया है।
अच्छा सर, अभी तो सब कुछ है हमारे पास, तो सारे प्रयास सफल रहे आपके, मुझे लगता है सब इजी है।
आप लोगों की मेहनत रंग लाने वाली है।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
हाँ जी, चलिए, तो घर पे बात हुई है रामकृष्ण जी से?
अभी तो नहीं हुई सर, शाम को घर जाके करूँगी, जब रूम पे जाएंगे तब बात होगी घर पे। हाँ जी,
हमारे पापा को बहुत खुशी होगी क्योंकि उन्होंने तुम्हें बहुत प्रोत्साहित किया है।
बिल्कुल, माँ भी और पिताजी भी और भाई भी। जी,
चलिए, मेरी तरफ से बहुत बहुत आशीर्वाद है।
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया सर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
जी।
DD India correspondent Narayan Singh now joins us live from Paris. Narayan, Manu Bhaker has got India its first medal in the Paris Olympics, and India sent its strongest shooting contingent to Olympics this time. We heard Manu Bhaker speak to Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well. A good start for India, would you say?
Definitely a good start for here for India on day 2 itself, and it will, as we mentioned earlier, that winning a medal very early in any mega tournament, we can say that act as a catalyst for the other athletes, not only shooting but other disciplines also. This will boost the confidence and morale of other athletes also, and tomorrow also many events are medal events are lined up, especially in shooting. So from other shooters too, we can hope that they can win medals for the India. And all in all, we can say that our athletes are prepared a lot. They worked hard 24/7, and definitely we are hoping that they will break the record of the last time India won 7 medals in the Tokyo Olympics, and this time they are eyeing to break that record and cross the double-digit mark this time. And because of the kind of the facilities they are getting, PM Modi always talks to them, encourages them, interacts with them. Definitely it's going to be a big thing. For when we talked to Manu Bhaker during our interactions, she said that whenever PM Modi talks to her, it's always an inspiring thing for athletes, and the important tips given by the PM always help them to accelerate. And when we talked to Manu, she also said that the schemes like Khelo India, top schemes are always helpful to them when any player who gets the we can say the facilities from the tops and Khelo India, they don't need to worry about other things, their pocket money, their we can say the exposure to the foreign tours, their infrastructure like equipments and the venue where they want to practice. If you talk about shooting, shooting is a very costly game, you know. For that ammunition is required, the license is required, there are many nitty-gritties of the sports. So government is providing everything, the ammunition they are providing, the Karli Singh shooting range is there in Delhi, and in Bhopal also we have a world-class shooting range. So everything is in place. So that's why our athletes are doing well, and we can say that in coming times, in the tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will get more medals from our athletes, and this is just a start. We are hoping for more medals.
Well, absolutely. We'll be playing out that conversation that you've had with Manu Bhaker as well in just a bit. But how would you say day 2 was all in all for India, from boxing to table tennis?
Definitely, it was a you can say fantastic day for India. The way our paddler started, and Manika Batra booked her berth in the round of 13, and Shija Kula is also there in the round of 32. So they are doing well, and we are hoping that it's the starting only. They are playing in the, we can say that in the round of 32 or 64, and from that they will progress to the further rounds. So we are hoping that slowly and steadily our athletes will we can say that put their performance at the next level. Especially if we talk about in badminton, PV Sindhu is there. She won her first match, and Lakshya Sen also won his first match, and we know that in the men's doubles, even Chirag Shetty and Satvik Sairaj are one of the best medal contenders for India, and they are capable to win a gold medal for India here at the Paris Games, because we know that what they have delivered in the past, winning the Thomas Cup for India and winning the many super series along with the world championship medal, and they were also the ranked #1 in the world in the past. So we know that what kind of athletes we have, and a different, we can say that sporting atmosphere right now is there in country. And we know that in the past there was when you talk to athletes, they were just asking for the facilities, but right now everything is in place. Infrastructure is there. There is a member of 13 specialist doctor in the Games Village, and if you talk about Games Village, there is a limited number of accredited support staff can be there, and government has sent a large number of support staff who are living outside the Games Village at the funding of the government. And there is also the recovery specialist, so that after training, after their matches, our athletes can recover very early. Also there are sleep therapists for our athletes, there are conditioning coaches, there are physiotherapists for our athletes, and right now there is a ratio of 1:1 between the support staff and as well as the athlete, and so it's a big thing. So we can say that our sports has achieved a lot in the sporting arena, and India is also planning to host the 2036 Olympics. So in that sense, our athletes are doing exceptionally well, and the mission and the vision of PM Modi to make India a superpower in the sporting, as a superpower sporting nation, and
Right.
it is in the right direction. The way our athletes are doing, they are preparing. So we are hopeful that
Yes, Narayan.
the kind of facilities and the hard work our athletes are doing, definitely we will be at the next level in the coming times.
So India is providing a conducive environment to its players, which is why we are seeing results like this. Thank you for joining us, Narayan, from Paris. Time for us to take a breather on DD India News Hour. Still to come, enormous wildfire spreads across parts of Northern California. World Nature Conservation Day is being celebrated around the world today.
We just don't bring you the news as it unfolds. We get to the heart of the matter.
We don't just present facts, we demystify complex social, political and economic events.
We break stories that shape the world's present and future because you deserve the truth.
I am Tanvi Taneja from New Delhi.
I'm Ollie Barrett from London.
I'm Nick Harper from Washington, D.C.
Join us on DD India Global Monday to Friday at these times.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour with me, Munmun Bhattacharya. DD India correspondent Narayan Singh had an exclusive conversation with Olympic bronze medalist Manu Bhaker. Take a listen.
History has been created at the Paris Olympics as Manu Bhaker became the first woman shooter to win a medal for India at the Olympics. Manu, congratulations, winning the first medal, becoming the first women shooter to win a medal for India. So, taking a look at your journey, last time it was upset at the Tokyo, and now standing at the Olympic podium, how you define this journey, how you look this journey?
Definitely, like any other journey, it's been very challenging, especially in the tough times. You have to be brave, you have to be you have to try to hold yourself together that okay, this time will pass, this will also pass in some time. And when I look back, I will be proud of myself that I kept up and I did not lose myself in the the low phase. So definitely it's been a roller coaster for me because I have had so many victories, then so many losses also, then again this beautiful medal for all of us. So yes, now I look back and I feel like this all was worth it.
Talk about the qualification, you are looking cool, confident, and you are hopeful that you will carry that qualification form in the finals. So you exactly did that. So what went through your mind when you won in the qualification and throughout the night, what went?
So the qualification round was normal, like how I shoot usually. It was like that only. And same was in the finals also. I was just trying to give my best and I was not hoping for anything. Even if the things go badly or even if I win the gold or whatever it goes, I just wanted to give my best. So yeah, my eyes were only on that.
So before going to the games, you people interacted with the PM Modi and you also mentioned about the schemes like Hello India. So PM Modi also gave some important tips like the sound sleep. So when PM Modi, when the Prime Minister of the country gives such interactions, such tips, how helpful all these things are for the athletes like you?
Honestly, it motivates us a lot that he takes like out of so many things that he has to do in his entire day, and he must be even like busier than us. So it just makes me feel like okay, he is such a busy man and he takes out like so much of his time and energy for all the athletes. So yes, that's a moment of motivation, and that just pushes all the athletes to do even better because so many people are looking forward to them, so many people support them, and people love them so much. So same in my case, I feel loved, I feel supported. So I'm grateful for that.
So here we can see that the way Manu Bhaker has won the medal for India, she also mentioned how the tips from PM Modi are helping the athletes, and more events we are lined up for tomorrow, and we are hoping that she will continue this winning momentum there also and win more medals and more laurels for the country. With camera person Senthil, Narayan Singh for DD India, Paris.
In an exclusive conversation with DD India's Narayan Singh, Indian shooter Abhinav Bindra, who had won the gold medal in men's 10-meter air rifle event at the 2008 Olympics, congratulated Manu Bhaker on her victory. Take a listen.
पेरिस गेम्स में मेडल जीतने की शुरुआत हो चुकी है और मनु भाकर ने पहला पदक जीत लिया है 10 मीटर एयर पिस्टल में, और उस पर बात करने के लिए हमारे साथ है वन एंड ओनली अभिनव बिंद्रा। सर, शुरुआत हो चुकी है, कैसे देखते हैं इसको?
देखिए, इट्स अ मॉन्यूमेंटल डे। मनु ने बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रदर्शन किया एंड इट इज़ द फर्स्ट एवर फीमेल मेडल फॉर शूटिंग एवर इन आवर हिस्ट्री, सो इट्स अ ग्रेट डे। मनु की जर्नी बहुत इंस्पायरिंग जर्नी रही है। इन सो मेनी ईयर्स शी इज़ बीन डूइंग वेरी वेल, बट today it has culminated in an Olympic medal, and she still has a couple of events to go. So it's yet not over, and I'm hoping that this will inspire the rest of the team to do even more.
Will you call it a golden generation or in the Indian shooting?
It's a golden generation for sport, I would say.
India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is in Japan for the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting, which will take place on Monday. Quad Foreign Ministers will focus on strengthening cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. On the sidelines, Dr. Jaishankar met with the U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and held a comprehensive discussion on India-U.S. bilateral relations.
Quad complements ASEAN-led mechanisms in their effort to make the region stable, secure and prosperous through delivery of people-centric benefits. India remains steadfast in our commitment to contributing to ARF activities over the coming years, says India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar after completing the successful ASEAN summit in Laos, PDR. India's minister is in Tokyo, Japan on a 3-day visit to attend a foreign ministerial meeting of the 4-nation grouping Quad, comprising India, US, Japan and Australia. On the sidelines, Dr. S. Jaishankar met US Secretary of State Antony Blinken in Tokyo. Both the leaders held a comprehensive discussion on India-US bilateral relations and various regional and global issues. He shared on social media X, and I quote, "Great to catch up with Secretary Blinken in Tokyo today. Our bilateral agenda progresses steadily. Also had a wide-ranging discussion on regional and global issues. Look forward to attending the Quad Foreign Ministers meet tomorrow." The External Affairs Minister will hold discussions with his counterparts from Australia, Japan and the US on July 29. The meeting is expected to lay the ground for the Quad Leaders Summit to be held in India later this year. The Quad ministers will exchange views on developments in the Indo-Pacific region, other regional and international issues, and review progress on Quad initiatives and working groups. The South China Sea is a significant area of contention. While China claims the majority of this maritime region, the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei and Taiwan have their own counterclaims. Early on Sunday, External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar unveiled a bust of Mahatma Gandhi at Freedom Plaza in Edogawa, Tokyo. Jaishankar attended the ceremony alongside Edogawa Mayor Takeshi Saito, C.B. George, the Ambassador of India to Japan and other officials. Paying homage to the father of the Indian nation, Jaishankar said that solutions do not come on the battlefield and that no era is of war. A group of school children sang Gandhi's favorite prayer, Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram. Jaishankar remarked that this gesture signifies Japan's desire to strengthen its ties with India.
I would say today, at a time when we are seeing so much conflict in the world, so much tension, so much polarization, so much bloodshed, it's very important that Gandhiji's message was that solutions do not come from a battlefield, that no era should be an era of war. And that message applies today as much as it did 80 years ago.
In November 2017, India, Japan, the US and Australia formalized the Quad to develop a strategic approach to maintain open sea routes in the Indo-Pacific region. The last meeting of Quad took place in New York in September 2023. The Quad foreign ministers are expected to take forward cooperation in key areas including counter-terrorism, maritime security and humanitarian and disaster responses. Bureau Report, DD, India.
The Maldives National Defence Force has resumed the use of India-donated helicopters and Dornier aircraft to transport patients. Local media reports said that MNDF had informed the local media on resumption of the services, which was also reiterated by President Muizu during his Independence Day speech. The Indian helicopters are operated jointly by the Indian Army and the MNDF and are used to airlift medical patients in Maldives. After President Muizu assumed office, Maldives had urged India to withdraw military personnel operating the aircraft. Earlier this year, India had replaced its military manpower with civilian crew. The Dornier aircraft used in the Maldives have been donated by India to the Maldives. Israeli aircraft carried out multiple strikes on Hezbollah terror targets deep inside Lebanese territory and also in southern Lebanon. Aerial footage released by the Israeli military showed strikes on targets said to belong to Hezbollah. The attack is a repercussion after Hezbollah launched a rocket on a football ground in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights, killing 12 people, including children. On the other hand, the Lebanese government has asked the United States to urge restraint from Israel. Meanwhile, on Sunday, Druze mourners in the Israeli-controlled Golan Heights attended a funeral procession in Majd al-Shams for the children and teenagers killed in the rocket attack. Israel on Sunday vowed to hit Hezbollah hard after a rocket killed 12 on a football field. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has also ended his visit to the United States early and is expected to convene his security cabinet to discuss Israel's response. Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant visited Majd al-Shams and said that Israel will hit the enemy hard.
Please send the families on my behalf and on the behalf of the security system our empathy in this difficult incident. It's an awful tragedy, innocent boys and girls. It's just heartbreaking. I told you Hezbollah is responsible and it will pay a price.
From tropical storm Gaime's trail of destruction in Taiwan, the Philippines and now China to a raging wildfire in Oregon. Extreme weather events are being seen across continents. DD India's Mihir Maikuri reports.
Extreme weather patterns are sweeping across continents, from the Americas to Asia, capturing global attention. This week, powerful winds and lightning strikes have ignited and fueled wildfires across the Pacific Northwest, including the largest fire currently burning in the United States, which is rapidly expanding near the Oregon-Idaho border. The Durkee fire in Oregon has already scorched 1,600 square kilometers, an area more than half the size of Rhode Island, threatening several towns in its path. In Asia, tropical storm Gaime has unleashed persistent heavy rainfall that triggered a devastating landslide in China's southern Hunan province, resulting in the deaths of 12 people. The storm has caused flash floods in the northeast and led to railway disruptions in other regions. Although the cyclonic winds from Gaime, now downgraded from a typhoon, had largely dissipated by Sunday, many areas of China remain on high alert for potential flooding due to the ongoing impact of the earlier rain. In the Indian state of Maharashtra, India's Met Office has issued a yellow alert for Mumbai amid persistent heavy showers. An orange alert has been declared for 8 districts across the state. In response to the severe weather, nearly 230 residents have been relocated from low-lying areas in Sangli district. Additionally, the Indian Army's relief column has mobilized resources to provide essential aid to those affected. Other regions of India, including Delhi NCR, Gujarat and Assam, have been experiencing heavy rainfall over the past few weeks. The India Meteorological Department has now issued a yellow alert for India's national capital Delhi, predicting continuous heavy rains in the coming days. Mihir Maikuri's report for DD India.
Time for another breather on DD India News Hour. Coming up after that, an analysis in the upcoming Quad Foreign Ministers meeting in Tokyo on Monday. The skill development program for girls in horticulture sector starts in Udhampur in Jammu and Kashmir. Welcome back. You're watching DDI India News Hour with me, Manu Bhaker. A recap of the headlines. Indian shooter Manu Bhaker wins bronze in 10-meter air pistol in Paris Olympics, becomes the first Indian woman shooter to achieve the feat. India's Prime Minister congratulates her. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar meets Antony Blinken in Tokyo, stage set for Quad Foreign Ministers meeting on Monday. Israel hits Hezbollah targets in a retaliatory strike after a rocket attack on the Golan Heights. And the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting is set to begin on Monday in Tokyo. So what's on the agenda? What can the world expect from it? To talk about that and more, we are joined by Ambassador S.R. Tayal. He is a former Indian ambassador, and Satoru Nagao. He is a fellow at the Hudson Institute in Tokyo. Such a pleasure to have the two of you on DD India. Ambassador, I'll begin with you. India has called for a code of conduct to secure sea lanes of communication in the South China Sea. Though Quad is not an anti-China grouping, do you expect discussions on these lines at the Quad Foreign Ministers meeting on Monday? Besides other things, since freedom and openness of the Indo-Pacific region is a common concern of the Quad partners.
Who is to go?
Yes, Ambassador, please go ahead.
These four foreign ministers of Quad countries, India, Australia, Japan, and
India, yeah,
US met in September last year. And since then, the security situation in Indo-Pacific has deteriorated. There have been heightened tensions around Taiwan. China has been very aggressive in South China Sea and has been intimidating Philippines, and it is a cause of concern. And also, China has been increasing its footprint in Pacific Island countries. All these things are cause of concern for the democracies of Indo-Pacific, the four major democracies which are in Quad. But repeatedly, it has been said by all four members of Quad that it is not a security-related grouping. And it has a more comprehensive agenda, how to strengthen the capacities of Indo-Pacific nations so that peace and tranquility prevails and the sea lines of communication remain open all over Indo-Pacific. Our agenda is very vast. It has become more active since 2017 with a lot of political, strategic and economic investment by the four members. But foreign ministers will be taking a long-term view. Because America is going through its election cycle, so one should not expect some very major decisions from this meeting, but a stock taking of what all has been achieved, and some areas have been mentioned like economic infrastructure, humanitarian assistance, maritime domain issue, strengthening the network and internet connectivity of all the countries in Indo-Pacific, and making the countries, particularly small island countries of Indo-Pacific, more aware of maritime situations, maritime concerns, maritime dangers which can arise. So agenda is vast, and it is perhaps more a stock taking and taking a roadmap for the future.
Absolutely. So like you said, it's a wider agenda and there is likely to be stock taking. Not major decisions should be expected. After all, it's a foreign ministers meeting and America is going through an election cycle. The results will only be known later. Well, Mr. Nagao, issues of non-traditional security have become equally, if not more important than traditional aspects of security, a point the ambassador was mentioning. Is non-traditional cooperation in the Quad's greatest asset, would you say? For example, the Quad's health security partnership that promotes resilience against future health crises, or even combining capacities in critical and emerging technologies, infrastructure, connectivity, space and cybersecurity, besides, of course, the challenges that are there in the maritime domain.
Yes, non-traditional security is also important because the Quad is a strategic cooperation. But Quad, originally this was happened when the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe of Japan introduced this idea in the Indian Parliament in 2007. In his address, which called Conference of Two Seas, mentioned the cooperation with US and Australia. So that was the first time as a public statement he mentioned about the Quad.
That's right, yeah.
And so at that time, it is clear that this is a strategic cooperation against China. Because when we see the Indo-Pacific and when we pointed out the great powers, except China, we can count 4 countries, which is Quad. So that's why this strategic cooperation is competition with China. The purpose is competition with China. So in this case, traditional security and non-traditional security, both are very important. For example, the maritime security, not only the threat came from the naval ship of the one country, but also we are facing the pirates. And the climate change issue, supply chain related to economy, which do not rely on China, is also included. Our vaccine diplomacy is the way to expand China's influence in this region, and we need to deal with it. So traditional security mainly focusing on military, but the non-traditional security area covers all of the other area as a strategic issue. So that's why the non-traditional security is also important. How to support small countries is how to persuade this small country to our side. So that is very important. I should stop the reply because I should not talk forever. Thank you.
Right. Ambassador, how do you respond to what Mr. Nagao is saying, that this is pretty much about strategic cooperation with China, besides, of course, cooperation in non-traditional areas? Also, since the US presidential polls are approaching, we may recall that the Trump administration revived interest in the Quad around 2017. You were referring to 2017 earlier. Biden administration later chose to persist with the focus on Quad. So is Quad one of the many bipartisan continuities that are visible in Washington?
I think the past 7 years track record shows that both Republicans and Democrats, and specifically both former President Trump and the present Biden administration, are very much concerned about the peace and tranquility in Indo-Pacific region. And all the democracies, even in Europe, and they all recognize that the threat to this peace and tranquility is really coming from one country, and that is China. So in different ways, we have also seen that Australia's view about China is changing, and Australia is now more conscious of the expansionist policies of China in Indo-Pacific and the Pacific Island countries, and also their Gulf warrior diplomacy, etc. Japan has always been very concerned about China's expansion, and so has been India. So the 4 countries had this common agenda to keep Indo-Pacific tranquil and peaceful, and the sea lines of communication open. And in this objective, in this goal, all the countries of Indo-Pacific, particularly the democracies, are together. Republic of Korea is also now cooperating with the Quad in different ways. It is open for more discussion about cooperation. And the issue now perhaps more is of capacity building of small island states, and perhaps the outcome after this meeting tomorrow in Tokyo of the Quad foreign ministers Perhaps the outcome would be more in non-traditional threats and security issues like terrorism. There is a working group on to counter terrorism. There is a working group on health, and so it is a preparation for future, both to counter traditional security issues and non-traditional security issues.
Okay. And as a watcher from Tokyo, Mr. Nagao, we know that India is expected to host the Quad Summit later this year. What role do you see India playing as its host?
Of course, India is the core part of the Quad because without India, Japan do not need the new concept like Quad because both Japan and Australia are former US ally, treaty-based ally. So this means that there are plenty of chances to cooperate. But India is a newcomer, and because Japan wants to cooperate with India, we need the Quad. So that's why India is the most important country in the Quad. And in this case, India covers a wider area of strategic issue, including the traditional military issue. And in case of the South China Sea, this year, this is a very hot topic because China escalates the activity in the South China Sea, especially against Philippines. Under such kind of situation, Japan will deploy our forces to the Philippines. We are planning as a rotation basis, and Australia is also deploying the military forces around the South China Sea to support Philippines. But in case of India, this is most important because India exports BrahMos missile, supersonic missile to Philippines, and this is the most strongest weapon for Philippines to deal with China's number 6. So that's why, indeed, India's contribution in the South China Sea is very big now. Because of this, India will be the host of the Quad-ist country, even if on surface, Quad is not against China. Quad is not a military alliance. Even if such kind of situation, indeed, Quad is a very core part in the military issue, and to deal with China, this is the core issue, and India's lead of the Quad meeting will be the core part, how to deal with China. Thank you.
Okay. We'll take that to you as well, Ambassador. What expectations do you have from India hosting the Quad Summit later this year? And do you expect the relevance of Quad as a grouping to grow too, and it becoming a bigger factor in geopolitics and policy beyond the region?
Quad is already a very important factor in geopolitical calculations of all major powers. And India does not join any security alliance, that is our policy. But we do coordinate our security interests and strategic with our strategic partners, and all 3 members of Quad are our strategic partners. So there will be a lot of things happening by way of exchange of information and planning for the future. That is one part. Second, there could also be some kind of division of responsibility, that sharing of responsibility also, where India perhaps should focus more on Indian Ocean and the sea lanes and the communication, the security and tranquility of Indian Ocean, whereas Australia, Japan and US could perhaps focus more on the Pacific side. India is doing its bit. India has very clearly declared its support for the position of Philippines in UNCLOS and the claim of Philippines, which has been endorsed by UN Council of Law of the Seas, and also the BrahMos missiles which have been supplied to Philippines. They really are a big help and support to strengthen the defense of Philippines. So a lot of things will happen, but which will not perhaps come in the public domain. But there is a common concern about expansionist China and the threats again. China has threatened Philippines, so that there will be retaliation in case Philippines does not adhere to some agreement. So this whole intimidatory policy of China is being resisted by all four countries of Quad and also other countries of ASEAN and Indo-Pacific are watching with care and hope that China will not be allowed to disturb the peace, tranquility and security of Indo-Pacific, which after the Vietnam War, which ended in mid-70s, has really led to so much of economic progress in whole of Asia. So that will also be in jeopardy if China becomes more aggressive.
We'll leave it at that. Appreciate you joining us, Ambassador Tayal, as well as Mr. Naguro from Tokyo. Time for us to look at some other stories making news. India's President Draupadi Murmu has appointed new governors across various states. Notable appointees include former Maharashtra Assembly Speaker Haribhau Kisan Rao Bagde, Tripura's Deputy Chief Minister Jishnudev Verma and Rajasthan MP Om Prakash Mathur. With an aim to attract girls towards the horticulture sector, the Udhampur Horticulture Department of Jammu and Kashmir started a skill development program on Saturday. This 15-day skill development program for girl students is under the new education policy. The event witnessed huge participation of girls from adjoining areas. Former Union Minister and ex-Army Chief General V.K. Singh flagged off the Mumbai Kargil Soldier-a-thon 2024 at the military station Kulaba in Maharashtra on Sunday morning. It is an extraordinary tribute marathon which is dedicated to the silver jubilee of India's victory over Pakistan in the Kargil war. India's Minister of Tribal Affairs Jwal Oram has said that there has been a growth of 73% in the allocated fund to implement schemes linked to the welfare of tribal community in the country. Addressing a press conference in Agartala, the capital of the northeastern Indian state of Tripura, the minister said that a whopping 13,000 crore rupees will be spent on the schemes meant for tribal community in the country. Time for a breather on DD India News Hour. Coming up after that, India lose to Sri Lanka in the Women's T20 Asia Cup 2024 final at Dambulla in Sri Lanka. Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India. Welcome back. You're watching DD India News Hour with me, Manu Bhaker. Venezuelans waited in line at polling stations and cast their ballots on Sunday in the most consequential election in a quarter century of the Socialist Party's rule. President Nicolas Maduro appears confident of victory despite the opposition garnering passionate support. Opposition leader Mara Corina Machado has been a central figure in the coalition's campaign despite being barred from holding public office, which led her to pass the torch to candidate Edmundo Gonzalez. Polls close at 2200 GMT and the results could be published either on Sunday night or in the following days. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei formally endorsed President-elect Masoud Pezeshkian at a ceremony held at the Imam Khomeini Husseiniya in Tehran on Sunday. The event was attended by national and military officials, a delegation of martyrs' families and resident ambassadors in Tehran. Pezeshkian won the election earlier this month by promising a pragmatic foreign policy and a reduction in domestic repression. He is set to be sworn in next Tuesday. On Sunday, Russia's annual Navy Day parades featured fleets at multiple locations. Naval parades were held off the bases of the Baltic, Pacific and the Caspian fleets, as well as at the Syrian port of Tartus, a Russian naval base in the Mediterranean Sea. Over 100 military vehicles and 15,000 servicemen participated in the celebration. The celebration is set to feature over 100 military vehicles and 15,000 servicemen. Speaking at the primary Navy parade in St. Petersburg, Russian President Vladimir Putin warned the United States of a Cold War-style missile crisis.
The US and German government's announcement of the deployment of American high-precision long-range missile systems in Germany starting in 2026 draws our attention. If the US implements such plans, we will consider ourselves free from the previously imposed one-sided moratorium on the deployment of medium and shorter-range strike systems, including increasing the capabilities of our Navy's coastal forces.
You're watching DDI India News Hour. Time now for more sporting action. Sri Lanka secured their first Women's Asia Cup title win on Sunday, beating India with a clinical run chase on their home soil. India posted 165 for the loss of 6 wickets. Sri Lanka got over the line with 50s from Chamaria Thapattu and Harshita Samara Vikrama. This was also just the second time that India failed to win the Women's Asia Cup. The previous such instance was in 2018 when Bangladesh beat India by 3 wickets. Samara Vikrama was the player of the match in the final, while Chamaria Thapattu was the player of the tournament. In badminton, India's HS Pranoy has won the first match of his group stage fixtures. Pranoy defeated Fabian Roth 21-18, 21-12 to win his first match of the men's singles badminton. In remembrance of the sacrifices made by the Kargil war heroes, a 12-year-old Arav Bharadwaj is on a bicycle yatra along with his father from the Kargil War Memorial in Ladakh to National War Memorial in Delhi. The yatra has now reached Srinagar, and he spoke exclusively to DD India and said that he started this 13-day bicycle yatra in honor of the fallen heroes of the Kargil war, marking its 25th anniversary. Arav aspires to join the defence services in future and also hoped that the athletes will bring laurels to India at the Paris Olympics.
ये यात्रा का मेन उद्देश्य यह है कि मैं उन शहीदों को ऑनर करना चाहता हूं जो कारगिल वॉर में शहीद हुए थे और जिन्होंने अपना आज हमारे कल के लिए दिया था। मैं बड़ा होकर डिफेंस सर्विसेज ज्वाइन करना चाहता हूं। भारत के वीरों को शत-शत नमन। जय हिंद और जय भारत। ये यात्रा
Every year on 28th July, we celebrate World Nature Conservation Day. This day highlights the importance of conserving natural resources and protecting our environment. DD India correspondent Tapas Bhattacharya reports.
Every year on July 28th, people from across the globe come together to observe World Nature Conservation Day. This day serves as a powerful reminder of the importance of conserving our natural resources and protecting the environment for future generations. World Nature Conservation Day was established to highlight the critical role a healthy environment plays in maintaining the well-being of humanity. It emphasizes the need to preserve our natural resources and ensure the stability and resilience of our ecosystem. Inspired by these values, Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced Mission Life at the 26th UN Climate Change Conference of the Parties in Glasgow. This public movement aims to mobilize individuals to become pro-planet people, adopting sustainable lifestyles to protect and preserve the environment. Among the other notable initiatives, Prime Minister Modi announced the establishment of a national hydrogen mission and the launch of the International Solar Alliance. These initiatives focus on promoting global energy access and a transition to sustainable energy sources.
World Nature Conservation Day is a call to action. It urges individuals, communities and governments to take proactive steps towards sustainable practices that ensures the well-being of our planet. Join us in making a difference. Together we can create a sustainable future for all. With Carperson Sumit Naujal, this is Taposh Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
As India opened its medal tally at the Paris Olympics with its first bronze medal, renowned sand artist and Padma awardee Doordarshan Patnaik crafted a stunning sand sculpture of the medalist Manu Bhaker in Odisha. Take a look. That's all in this edition of DD India News Hour, but do share your thoughts with us on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Manu Bhaker from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour. Namaskar.